Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aquatic Ballpark. We are in action here in the third grade game between the visiting Canterbury Vikings and your Manly Eagles. Currently in the top of the second inning, Manly with a run in the bottom of the first to take an early 1-0 lead here. Scott Clahessy scoring the first run for the Eagles. We'll bring you both lineups during the innings break. Canterbury with a runner on first here with none out in the top of the second inning. Dean Story underneath that one. Makes the catch for the first out. Mitchell Howie there out on the flyboard of Story. Ashley Hapgood, the runner at first base for the Vikings. Dean Story, the pitch up for the Eagles, starting today's game. Checks his signal from Liam Mayo. And Hapgood takes off. And a great throw by Liam Mayo. A little bit high for Fenari. Had to go up and get it. Come down and put the tag on Hapgood. And Hapgood is in with a head first slide into second base. Hapgood will just clear the dirt out of his pants. Take his position at second base. So 1 out, 1 strike here on Ethan Toome. And the slow curveball's popped up into the sky, and Scott Clahessy will make the catch. And that'll be the second out on this top of the second inning. And that's going to bring up Stephen McCowage for the Vikings. Left-handed hitter. Spin move by Story, keeping Cowage close at second base. Called strike there for McCowage. He's behind, no balls and 1 strike. And he fouls that one off over the screen. Cowage behind now, 0-2. 2 out here for the Eagles. That pitch a little bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for McCowage. That ball hit through the hole on the right side. It's going to be an RBI for McCowage. Hapgood scoring from second base, originally held at third, but got given the green light, and he'll tie this ball game up for the visitors. 1-1 here in the top of the second inning. Mitch Fuller for the Vikings. Check over at first on McCowage, and he's in with a head first slide. McCowage takes off. And stolen base there for McCowage, so moving himself into scoring position. Mitch Fuller with 4 RBIs on the season. He takes that for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes now. And that pitch is fouled off, just not sticking to the glove of Mayo. Two balls and 1 strike now. Check over at second. Cowage is back, standing up. And that's up for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now for Mitch Fuller. Starting for only the second time this season. 1 for 10. 3 runs scored, but he does have 4 RBIs. And that pitch is fouled off. The Story coming back into this one, filling the count up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out here in the top of the first. And that ball just inside for ball 4. Good at bat there by Mitch Fuller. It's going to put runners on first and second with 2 out here. It's going to be Robert Cook here for the Vikings, batting in the 9 hole, and he will be called on the swing for strike 1 by home plate umpire Mark Roberts. Sorry, it's Tyler Cook. That ball lifted into left field. It's going to get down in front of Nathan Stenning over there. And single there by Tyler Cook is going to load the bases. It's going to turn the lineup over for the Vikings. It's going to be Scott Sloan to bat here with 2 out. Sloan flied out to centre field in the first at bat of the game. And that ball is lifted high into left field. Nathan Stenning will make the catch over there, and that's going to end his threat. Canterbury loading the bases. They have scored 1 run to tie this up. So as the Eagles head to the bottom of the second, it's 1-all. Bring you the lineups now. No. Start with the Canterbury lineup. Scott Sloan in the lead-off spot playing shortstop. Simon Carter catching. Andrew Woods at first base. Ashley Hapgood is the designated hitter. He scored the Vikings' first run. Mitch Howie in left field. Ethan Toons at third base. Stephen McCowage at centre field. Mitch Fuller at right field. And Tyler Cook with that single there. He's at second base. And the starting pitcher for the Vikings is Daniel Cruz. And for the Manly side, Liam Mayo leading things off. Scott Clahessy in the 2-hole. Dion Mason centre field. Stephen Patterson the DH. Tim Clark at first base. Chris Funari second base. James Kidd at third base. Ben Saunders at right field. Nathan Stenning at left field. And the starting pitcher for your Manly Eagles is Dean Story. So Ben Saunders will lead things off here for the Eagles, batting in the bottom of the second inning. 1-all ball game here early. It's an overcast day at Aquatic Ballpark. A little bit of rain overnight has settled the infield dirt. Grounds crew are out here early getting the ground ready. It's in tip-top shape like always. Great work by Mike O'Neill, Simon Loud and Noel Markham, head crew chief here at Aquatic Ballpark. Ben Saunders behind here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leading off the bottom of the second for the Manly Eagles. Correction, just 2 strikes. That pitch is going to be called strike 3. It's going to be the first out. Back-to-back standing Ks for the Eagles. James Kidd striking out in the bottom of the first, looking at strike 3. Ben Saunders doing the same thing there. So 1 out in the bottom of the second. It's going to be Nathan Stenning to bat for the Eagles. Left fielder today. And he fouls that one off. Nathan Stenning, 8 appearances on the year, 6 of those starts. Start number 7 for him today. He's currently 4 for 12. One of those a double, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. That pitch is up for ball 1. 1 ball and a strike now for Stenning. Canterbury starting pitcher is Daniel Cruz this afternoon. Very tidy, 1.52 ERA on his 23.2 innings of work. Canterbury enjoying a 5-4 record on the season as he fires that breaking ball in for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes now on Nathan Stenning. Only 4 earned runs for Cruz. Very economical, 3 walks and 21 strikeouts. A couple more here this morning. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for Stenning. And that pitch is going to be high for ball 3. So Stenning fills up the count. As Cruz steps away just to compose himself, work out what pitch he needs to throw. And that pitch is going to be inside for ball 4. So Nathan Stenning is going to draw the 1-out walk. He's going to turn the lineup over for the Eagles. Bring up the catcher, Liam Mayo. Mayo starts with the ball upstairs. Mayo getting the catching duties today with Kevin DeGale away. Ben Little on the disabled list with a MCL sprain. Nathan Sterling balking with the steal attempt over there. 2 balls and no strikes now for Liam Mayo. Mayo with a 4.55 average, 11 hits for 20. 10 hits for 22 at bats. And Cruz comes in with a curveball there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now for Mayo. Cruz getting his signal from his catcher. And that pitch is going to be down and in for ball 3. Mayo working the count to 3-1. Cruz sets atop the mound. Fires that one in. It's going to be a shot into right field. It's going to push Stenning over to third base. No, it's not. Good fielding there by the Canterbury right fielder. But it will have runners for the Eagles at first and second here. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Liam Mayo going away with that one into right field. Matthew Bull walking into the broadcast booth to say hello.
Hello, sexies.
As Scotty Clahessy takes strike 1 to get his at bat underway. Doubled into left field in the first inning and scored the first run of this ball game. And he will punch that ball into right field. It's going to be an RBI single. Nathan Stenning turning and scoring. The throw into home. Gets away from the catcher. Mayo had pulled up at third base. Hadn't quite turned the corner hard. Ball got away from the Canterbury catcher, but luckily not to any further damage to the score. Mayo just pulling up at third base, and it's back-to-back doubles for Scott Clahessy. This time an RBI. Bit of a transit lounge in the broadcast booth this morning. Daniel Goodsell's come to say hello. Just had Manly's second grade centre fielder Adam O'Neill doing likewise. Good to see the boys coming in and saying g'day. Dion Mason bats here with 1 out. Runners at second and third. Looking to extend this Manly lead here in the bottom of the second inning. He lifts that one up high. Canterbury catcher coming all the way over to the dugout. Just running out of room. The ball dropping inside the fence. But Dion will have a 1-1 count here. And that pitch is up for ball 2. 2-1 for Mason. A big swing and miss on the curveball from Cruz. Evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 here for Mason. 2 runners to score here. And he fouls that one off. It's going to extend his at bat. He'll get to see another pitch. That ball down, breaking a little bit early. So full count here for Mason. Mayo standing at third base. Desperately wants to cross the plate. Give his Manly side a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Mason with a 250 average on the season. He's going to pull that ball into the shortstop position. He's going to go to... So the fielder's choice over to third base. Scott Lahesi slammed on the brakes, turned and went back to second. Got himself in the rundown. The ball was dropped by the Canterbury infielder, allowing Scott to turn and go to 3. And Dion Mason works all the way around to second base. Andrew Cook's going to come out and have a little bit of a chat with Cruz just to break up a bit of momentum. So Mark Roberts, home plate umpire, goes and breaks up the meeting on the mound. Manly out to a 3-1 lead here. It's going to be Stephen Patterson. He's going to pull that ball foul. Scotty Lahesi standing over at third base. Has had a very busy day already today. Looking to score his second run of the morning. And that ball foul tipped into the glove of the catcher. So 0-2 here for Patterson. Cruz looking to try and stop the bleeding here. Patterson fouls that one off. Counter remained, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 here from Cruz. Fouled off again by Patterson. Man known as Banjo going deep into this one. Trying to get Cruz to throw him a pitch that he's going to be able to put in play. Score 1 or 2 runs here for the Eagles. And there it is. It's going to get through the shortstop into left field. It's going to be another couple of runs. Scott Lahesi and Dion Mason both scoring. Good at bat by Stephen Patterson. Fouled off a couple of pitches. Extended it, got the pitch you wanted. Pulled it through the left side. And he will stand over on first base. 2 RBIs to his name. Manly now out to a 5-1 lead. Tim Clark in the game today. Manly manager handing the reins over to Scotty Fielding. Clarkey reached on an error in the first inning. He takes strike 1 there, 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch pulled foul. Tim Clark will see another pitch here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking to move Stephen Patterson over to second. Extend this Manly offense. And that pitch is going to be up. Even in the count for Clark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tim Clark lifts that ball up over to the first base side. A good sliding catch there by Andrew Woods. Extinguishes Tim Clark. Making up for the drop catch in the first inning. Woods came all the way onto the middle of the infield. Couldn't get a glove on it. This time he's able to make the catch. And Tim Clark's retired for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Chris Fenari. He's singled to third base. Takes that pitch for ball 2. And can't hold up on the check swing. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Fenari will go down on strikes. No, 2 and 2. I thought I heard Mark Roberts call the second pitch to the at-batter's strike. So not to be. So it went 2-0 to 2-2. So Fenari will take ball 3. Thought it was a bit strange when the Canterbury players didn't jump off the diamond there. So the 3 and 2 here for Fenari. Looking to extend this inning to James Kidd. Patterson takes off, and this will be a swinging strike 3, and that'll end the second inning on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. 4 huge runs for the Eagles. They lead 5-1. So Simon Carter takes the 0-1 pitch into left field. Nathan Stenning camps underneath it for the first out in the top of the third inning. Back-to-back fly balls into left field for the Canterbury side. Nathan Stenning kept very busy out there. It's going to be Andrew Woods, the first baseman, to hit here with one out. The first pitch from Dean Story is down for ball one. Andrew Woods hits that one hard all the way to the fence, out all the way of an outstretched Dion Mason. And it's going to be a stand-up double for Andrew Woods. One out here in the top of the third inning. Woods trying to spark his team. They need to claw back 4 runs. Ashley Hapgood now the DH. Scored the only run for the Vikings so far. And he takes the curveball from Dean Story in for strike one. And Mark Roberts calls strike there for strike two. One ball and no balls and 2 strikes here. And the 0-2 is high for ball one, so ball one and 2 strikes. That pitch pushed into right field, over to Ben Saunders. Ben makes the catch, second out of the inning. So 2 out, it'll be Mitchell Howie, left fielder for the Vikings. And he takes the first pitch from Dean Story for ball one. Don't forget, if you are watching at home, you can tune into the Game Changer play-by-play. Get all the up-to-date action. Simply sign up to Game Changer, search for your team and follow them. You'll get notifications when games start. As well as able to access all the stats and play-by-play action when games are in play. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for Mitchell Howie here. 2 out in the top of the third inning. And he gets that pitch for strike 3. And the throw over to Tim Clark at first base completes the out. So the Manly Eagles come up to bat, enjoying a 5-run lead. It's going to be James Kidd to lead things off. So change of pitcher for the Vikings. It's going to be Ross Bailey to come out of the bullpen. Daniel Cruz's morning is done. Only 2 innings for the starter. Ross Bailey sporting a 3.3 ERA on 10.2 innings of work. Second most used pitcher for the Vikings, 3rd grade behind Cruz. Two and 0 here for James Kidd. Caught looking at strike 3 in the first inning. Had the bases loaded at the time. And a big swing and miss on that one. So 2 and 1 here for Kidd. Behind on that change-up. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for the Manly leadoff. And a curveball. Very well executed, but it doesn't get the swing from Kidd. He lays off that one, and he fills up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Missed that one. High and foul over the first base dugout. Kidd will see another pitch here. Fouls that one into his leg. Counter remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. James Kidd, limited game time this year. And that'll be ball 4 for James Kidd. He'll jog up to first base. And he'll be the leadoff man aboard. And Ross starts Ben Saunders' second at bat with the ball. Breaking ball, not breaking. James Kidd taking off, standing up at second base. Clean pair of heels there. 4th stolen base of the year for James Kidd. Bailey throws in the called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Saunders. He fouls that one up over the back screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Ben Saunders. Chance of not getting another run here for the Eagles with Ben Saunders. And he takes that pitch at the knees. And it's going to be strike 3. So back to back KC's for Ben Saunders. He's the first out of the bottom of the third inning. So it'll be Nathan Stanning to bat here. He started the second inning off with a walk. Scored the Eagles' second run. Ross Bailey starts with a curveball, which finishes away. 1 ball and no strikes. That ball gets away from the catcher, Simon Carter. And James Kidd is going to move up 90 feet over to third base. Stanning takes that pitch up and in for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. And he finds the zone there, does Ross Bailey. Gets back into this one. 3 balls and a strike now for Stanning. And that's ball 4 for Stanning, so back-to-back walks for the Manly left fielder, showing plenty of patience at the plate. And the Eagles are going to have runners on the corners with only 1 out. And it'll be Liam Mayo to bat for the 3rd time this morning. Nathan Stanning will be looking to move himself into scoring position. Just like that, he goes up to second base. No throw by the catcher, Stephen Woods. Dummied the throw to second, threw it down to third base. James Kidd was alert. He was back in on the base. Ball 2 for Mayo. That pitch high. And Andrew Cook's going to come out and have a quick chat with Ross Bailey. So the second visit of the morning for the Canterbury side is done with. Liam Mayo will be looking to score these runners. And the wild pitch will allow James Kidd to cross the plate. Another run for the Eagles. Nathan Stanning moves up to third base. Unconventional block there by Simon Carter. Ball getting away from him all the way to the fence right in front of us in the broadcast booth. And Ross Bailey fires in a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike now for Liam Mayo. Mayo lifts that ball up over the middle. It's going to go all the way to the fence. It'll be extra bases for the Manly catcher. And he's looking to go to 3. He's going to turn the corner. It's going to be a close play. He's going to be out. Mayo was thinking 3 the whole time. Good relay by the Canterbury defence. It knocks in a run, so Mayo's not that concerned. It's the second out of the inning, and it's a double to Mayo. And more importantly, it's an RBI, and it's going to take the Manly lead out to 7-1. Mayo out by a good couple of steps there. And it'll be Scott Clohessy to bat with 2 out here in the bottom of the third. And he's quickly behind 0-2. Ross Bailey with a curveball, then a fastball. Couple of quick strikes in this one. And he punches that one into left field. It's going to get over the head of the left fielder, Mitchell Howie, and it's going to be another double. He's second of the game for Scott Clohessy, and he stands up there on second base. 6 total bases. Must be something about doubles for Scott Clohessy. Celebrated the birth of twin boys earlier in the off-season. And he's got back-to-back doubles here in this game. 3 at-bats and 3 doubles. Dion Mason takes strike 1 at the knees to get this at-bat started. Batting with 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Pulls that one to the third baseman. Can't pick it up cleanly first time. Turns around, tries to apply the tag to Clohessy at third base. There's no call. Ethan Toon not able to handle the ground ball the first time. Gave up on making the throw across the diamond. Dion Mason, plenty of speed there. And the Vikings are going to go to their bullpen again here by the looks of it. Andrew Cook just coming out to make the change. We'll wait and see what happens here, but Ross Bailey looks like his morning is over. Gets the handshake from Andrew Cook, and we're going to have another pitching change. So the DH for the Vikings comes on to the mound. It's going to be Ashley Hapgood to take things over here with 2 out in the bottom of the third inning. Stephen Patterson will bat. The third time in 3 innings. And Hapgood fires in a strike to get this at-bat underway. Hapgood with a 6.75 ERA on 4 innings. 3 of the 5 runs earned with a strikeout. 2 strikeouts and a walk, rather. And he's quickly ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes. That ball just getting away from the catcher Carter on the throwback. Scott Hesse stationary at third base. So runners in the corners for the Eagles. 2 out. And Stephen Patterson swings and misses at strike 3. So Hapgood comes in, gets the job done, shuts it down here. And after 3 innings on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, it's the Manly Eagles 7, Canterbury Vikings 1. So it's going to be Ethan Toone to get things started here for the Vikings, top of the 4th inning. Dean Story starting with the strike, best way to start. Toone with a fly ball, shortstop Scott Hesse in the 2nd inning. So 0-2 for Toone. He just asked for time. One ball and 2 strikes. Lifts that ball up into the outfield. It's going to get down in front of Ben Saunders. It's going to be a single here to start things in the top of the 4th inning. The sun is starting to break through the clouds here at Aquatic. Canterbury with a lead-off single. Little so bunt there from McCowage. Moves Toone up to second base. Bunting while you're down 6 runs. Got a pinch hitter for the Vikings. And he takes that first pitch for a foul. Where's Nowak here for the Vikings, hitting in place of Mitch Fuller. And he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. And little check swing. Foul on the curveball from Dean Story. Just extending their bat here for Nowak. Batting with a runner on second base. And 1 out. Out coming on the sack bunt. And the pitch is up for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that ball back up the middle. Into centre field. Dion Mason charging down on it. Throws the ball back into the middle. And it's going to be runners on the corners for the Vikings here as we play in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Mitchell Cook. So Tyler Cook. Lifts that ball into left field. Nathan Stenning underneath it. Toon's going to run. He's going to score. It's going to be a sack fly. The Viking has manufactured a run here. A single, a bunt, a single and a fly ball. That's another run for the Canterbury Vikings, but they still trail 7-2. And he's checking over at third base. Make sure Ethan Toon didn't leave early. Vikings turning over their lineup to their starter. Sorry, to their shortstop. The leadoff man, Scott Sloan. Scott Sloan takes 1 ball there from Story. Sloan 5 for 23 on the season through his 7 games. Two balls and no strikes here for Sloan. And that curveball over the outside corner for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike now. All lower grade games in the State League are time games, 2 1/4 hours. As Sloan lifts that one into left field. And Dion Mason's going to come across and make the catch. And that's going to end the top of the 4th inning. Canterbury manufacturing a run, but they still trail the Manly Eagles 7-2. So Tim Clark hacks at the first pitch there from Ashley Hapgood. And just like that, it's one pitch and one out. Bottom of the fourth here in this New South Wales State League third grade encounter. Manly enjoying a 7-2 lead. But as we've seen previously, no lead is safe for the Manly Eagles. They'll need to make sure that they continue to keep scoring if they're to finish 2019 with a win, and a very important win it will be. That pitch down and away for ball 2 balls and no strikes. Two now for Finari. Batting here with one out in the bottom of the fourth. That pitch just outside for ball 3, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here for the Manly second baseman. Pulls that one foul. Just over a dodging Scott Fielding over at third base. Manly currently with a 4 win, 5 loss and 1 draw record. Sitting in 7th place. Canterbury with a 5-4 record as Finari lifts that ball up. A couple of players converging underneath it. It's going with the second baseman, Tyler Cook, making the catch, and that'll be the second out of this 4th inning. A Manly win would see both teams level on 500 win percentage points. James Kidd will bat now. 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Actually, Hapgood has been very effective. As the 1-0 pitch is called a strike by home plate umpire Mark Roberts. Pitch is outside for ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch will fill up the count. That's not 3-1. And a check swing foul over our heads here. Now the count will be full. 3 balls and 2 strikes for James Kidd. Hitting here with 2 out. Ben Saunders waiting on deck. And he swings and misses. Ball in the dirt. Well knocked down by Simon Carter. Throws it up to first. And Ashley Hapgood has come in and retired all 4 batters he has seen, working very quickly. His Canterbury Vikings will come out to bat in the top of the 5th inning. But your Manly Eagles lead 7-2 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard after 4 innings. Dean Story back out for his 5th inning of work here. 7-2 Manly lead, top of the 5th inning. Only Simon Carter to bat. Single to 7, left field in the first inning, and then flew out to left field to lead off the 3rd inning. It leads off the 5th here. He's ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike. Foul tip there into the glove of Liam Mayo. It's now 2-2. The 2-2 offering high. Ball 3. Fills the count up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 here for Simon Carter. And another foul by Carter. Dean Story just messing with the timing of the Canterbury batters here. Changing speeds, plenty of off-speed stuff. Fires in a faster one there. Carter fouls it off. And Carter will take ball 4. Canterbury going to send a pinch hitter up for Andrew Woods. It's going to be Andrew Cook. Left-handed hitter. And it's going to be stolen base there for Carter. Throw not in time from Liam Mayo. 1 ball and no strikes here for Cook. Cook pulls that one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1 now for Cook. And Story gets a swing. Slow swing there by Cook. Steved in flight. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. No outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And there's a soft ground ball. Hit to Chris Fenari at second base. He'll clean it up. Throw to Tim Clark at first. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Simon Carter moving up 90 feet to third base. be the pitcher, Ashley Hapgood, to bat here with 1 out. Dean Story now back into the wind-up, and that pitch is going to be called for a strike. No balls and 1 strike for Hapgood. Singled into left field and then flew out to right field. He takes ball 1, evens the count at a ball and a strike. That is pulled to third base. Strong throw. Over to first by James Kidd. Couldn't make the catch at third. Recovered. Threw it across the diamond. But the throw pulls Tim Clark away from the base. Field umpire Keith Lehman calling safe. And Canterbury going to have runners on the corners with 1 out. Check over at first on Hapgood. Probably go down as an error on the third baseman. Sean Tanner, the everyday third baseman this year for the Eagles, out injured today. James Kidd getting the start. Mitchell Howie is behind here. No balls and 1 strike. Check over at first base from Dean Story. Just keeping Hapgood close. Hapgood only 1 stolen base from 1 attempt this season. That ball is pulled foul. A ball and 2 strikes now. Umpire Mark Roberts just asking for someone to grab that ball. So the 1-2 pitch coming from Story is going to be strike 3. Okay, it wasn't strike 3. Mark Roberts definitely made a noise. But that'll be a foul. Definitely wasn't a strike, so probably the right call in the end. 1 ball and 2 strikes now here for Mitchell Howie. Jake Richards standing on deck for the Vikings. And that is down for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good take there by Mitch Howie. And a big swing and miss there by Howie. This time, Story able to get him to commit to the swing. And that'll be the 2nd out of this inning in the top of the 5th. Jake Richards will hit here for the Vikings. And he takes the first pitch from Dean Story for strike 1. Jake Richards 6 for 18. In his 7 appearances has scored 4 runs and knocked in 5. And just like that, he's behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Looking to extend the inning here for the Canterbury side. If there any hope of coming back and potentially winning this one. Currently trails 7-2. Takes that one for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Story sets and delivers. Richards fouls it off. You'll see another pitch here from the Manly veteran Story. And he gets the swing, the foul tip into the glove of Liam Mayo, and that'll finish the top of the 5th inning. Manly Eagles have come up to bat, enjoying a 7-2 lead. Sabina Saunders bats here for the 3rd time today. Ashley Hapgood out for his 3rd inning. Saunders struck out looking on both occasions. And he hits that ball over to 3rd base. Trying to work out who that is after the change. Ethan Toone out of the game. Where's Nowak over there at 3rd base? And we're going to have a pitching change. It's going to be the shortstop Scott Sloan to come in and finish this one off for the Vikings. We're in the bottom of the 5th. As I was saying earlier, these games are timed games. 2.25 hours. No new inning with 10 minutes or less remaining. So no new inning after 11:35. Currently leaves us 19 minutes in this one. Manly will be looking to bat for as long as possible. So Andrew Cook, who was who was a pinch hitter in the last inning, he goes to first base. Wes Nowak remained at third base after he pinch hit in the previous inning. So he came over from right field to third base. And Jake Richards goes into right field. So it's going to be Nathan Stenning to bat here. No official at bat for the Manly left fielder. He does have 2 walks and 2 runs to his name. He's been very effective today. A couple of catches in the outfield as well. He fouls that one off. One ball and a strike now for Stenning. Scott Sloan fires in a strike. A ball and 2 strikes now. And that pitch falling just in front of the home plate for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that ball's hit into first base. But it will be a catcher's interference. So the out is negated. And Nathan Stenning will take his place at first base. So still no official at bat for Nathan Stenning. 0 for 0. Was reached base 3 times, scoring twice. And we're going to see a pinch runner in the form of Sean Parkinson, under 18 prospect, currently playing with the Futures team at the moment. Caught in yesterday's Futures game. The Futures picking up their 3rd straight win, 4th of the season. Beat a very experienced Pittwater Marlins team, featuring EBSN's own Andrew Logue. Left me to do all the work by myself yesterday afternoon. It was our first ever broadcast of an under-18s and Futures games, and Andrew was busy playing. Came and joined us for about half an hour towards the end of the under-18 games before getting a call up for the Pittwater Marlins side, where he was certainly busy in left field. Tells me he had the 2 worst at-bats of his life. That's Liam Mayo batting here for the Eagles. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And he hits that ball, the shortstop. Can't handle it the first time. And Mayo will be aboard at first base. Shortstop in the form of Ashley Hapgood. Probably had the underhand toss to second base playing through his mind before he actually took control of the ball. And the Eagles will have runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. So we'll see what Scott Hesse can do here. Three doubles so far today. He fouls that one off the end of his bat, straight into the fence in front of us. Two strikes now for Clohesi. This is where he does some of his best work. Ball in the dirt there. Simon Carter keeps it close enough, not allowing Sean Parkinson or Liam Mayo to move up an extra 90 feet. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes here for the double man, Scott Clohesi. Pick off attempt. Ball thrown into right centre field. That's going to allow both Manly runners to move up. Scott Sloan on the spin. Ball coming out of his hand and into right field. Scott Clohesi will now have 2 runners in scoring position as he bats here with 1 out. And he goes down on strikes. So Clohesi's retired for the first time today. It's going to bring up Dion Mason, the centre fielder for the Eagles. Has reached all 3 times today, similar to Scott Clohesi, but he's only credited with the 1 hit. That was the single in the first inning. Reached on a fielder's choice, which also involves Scott Clohesi. And then an error in the 3rd inning. So he's 1 for 3 on the day, and he's behind no balls and 1 strike. That ball just missing inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And lifts that ball high into the morning sky. Couple of people underneath it. It's going to be Tyler Cook to make the catch, and that'll finish this bottom of the 5th inning. The Eagles not able to run to their tally on this occasion, but after 5 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, the Manly Eagles 7 lead the Canterbury Vikings 2. And the Eagles manager, Tim Clark, is going to ask Dean Story to go the distance here today. The man known as Moose is back out for his 6th inning of work. Stephen McCowidge will lead things off as he shows bunt. And home plate umpire Mark Roberts calls for a strike. So McCowidge behind 0-1. Single to right field. And then had a sack bunt. And he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. And a little bloop into the third baseman, James Kidd. Nice strong throw across the diamond by the third baseman. That'll be record the third out. Couch out on the 5-3. Where's Nowak or bat hit? He takes ball 1 up. Second pitch to Nowak is down for a ball, so 2 balls and no strikes for the Vikings third baseman. And a late call there by home plate umpire Mark Roberts for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now for Nowak. The ball hit to Scott Hesse. Fire across the diamond. Not in time. Well, it was in time, but it was a bad throw. Good block by the manager, Tim Clark, at first base. Wasn't able to pick it up in time. Umpire Keith Lehman says, "Not today, sir." And Wes Nowak will be aboard on the throwing error by Scott Hesse. And a strike to Tyler Cook. Single to left field. And had a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. That ball hit up the middle. It's going to get through and into centre field. So 2-hit day for Tyler Cook. Canterbury threatening here. Runners on first and second. And they're going to turn the lineup over to their leadoff man, Scott Sloan. Double play will end it for the Eagles. No one up in the Manly bullpen, but they do have a couple of arms on the infield. Scott Hesse and Chris Fenari certainly options for the manager, Tim Clark. Possible double play ball there, picked up by James Kidd. He's going to get the sliding Tyler Cook out at second base. Good bit of defense there by the Manly third baseman. Kidd coming across, picking up the ball. Awkward off-balance throw, but Fenari was there to make the play, and that'll be the second out of the 6th inning. And a catch there by James Kidd. So in the thick of the action in the last two at-bats. He makes the third out of the top of the sixth inning. Umpire Mark Roberts will go over and check with only 3 minutes on the clock. It would seem redundant for the Manly players to come out. And it's officially game here. Manly 7 have defeated the Canterbury Vikings 2. Manly picking up their 5th win of the year. They'll head into the Christmas break with a 5-win, 5-loss and 1-draw record. Canterbury dropped to 5-5 on the season. So equal record with Manly. Manly winning both games, so they will sit ahead of the Canterbury Vikings side. 6 great innings from the veteran Dean Storey, getting the job done today. 6 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs scored. A day by Scott Clahessy with 3 doubles, finishing the day 3 for 4, 3 runs scored. Backed up very well by Liam Mayo. And Nathan Stenning also with 2 runs scored, despite having not recorded an official at-bat with 2 walks and a catcher's interference. So well done to Tim Clark, Scott Fielding and his third grade side. They finished 2019 even Stevens will have the second grade game kicking off in about 27 minutes time. So grab yourself some lunch and we'll be back shortly.